guide to making sure you can have a difficult conversation. Hello everybody, Tom here from Code. Today I'm going to discuss the age-old concern we all have when we're trying to have a difficult conversation with somebody. Whether this be somebody at work, a member of the family, your partner. We've all had that moment where sometimes what we've got to say is a little bit too close to the bone, a little bit difficult, and we avoid the conversation knowing that we have to have it. It's human nature to not want to go into conflict. Some people love it, but I can honestly say from my own experience, I do not like conflict. I do not like falling out with people. I do not like disagreeing with them, even though disagreeing is part of life, and sometimes we have to be amicable enough to agree to disagree. When we get into a difficult situation and we get fed up with the way things are going, sometimes we'll be very emotionally charged. You can say something in the heat of the moment that can really hurt someone else's feelings and make a situation really bad. These are 3 points you should be considering if you're going to have a difficult conversation with somebody, okay? First and foremost, first point, definitely think long and hard about the situation. What is the situation? What are your wants, your needs, your requirements? Is there certain things that are non-negotiable? Be careful with that, because a lot of the time when there's a situation occurs, particularly in a relationship of some description, compromise will be considered better than trying to prove that you're right and the other person's wrong, you know. You will have to find common ground somehow, some way. And definitely think long and hard about your situation, what's going on, and what you need to do, okay, before you have the conversation. The second thing would be to have the conversation. Have the conversation, but go in with an open mind. Go in being open to what they've got to say. Consider their point of view before you make any responses to anything they've said. Okay? Why are they feeling the way they are? What has led them to that? You know, all of that. Because it's very easy to just go in like tunnel vision. I want this, I want that. Start making demands that will then upset the person that you need this discussion with. You know? This is something that a lot of people really struggle to do in terms of communication. They really struggle to see things from another person's point of view. Try and get in their mind why they may feel the way they do. Obviously, when you're listening to the person talk, you should be able to gauge why they have arrived at that conclusion, or at least try to. And definitely, I would say this is a really key element of getting a resolution to what you want and between you, is understanding why they have arrived at that point in the first place. Then you can sort of like break it down, work out in your head an amicable solution between you. And the third point, 100% now, is to be, as well as being good at talking, you be very good at listening as well. You know, what is it that they are not appreciating or not liking that's causing that reaction? And understand what they say. Don't just listen, take it in and understand it fully. Okay? In the workplace, there's going to be people you don't always particularly like personally, but you have to work with them, so you have to be professional enough to have a working relationship. I've encountered this many times in my life, you know, but at the end of the day, you're there to do a job. It's not about who's more liked than the next person or any of all that shit, you know. It is just how it's got to be. You know, you've got to be considering the other person's viewpoint, their stance, And the solution is got to be perhaps one you both. It's got to be one you both agree on, you're both happy with, and really are happy with. Not just somebody going, yeah, I'll accept that, just to get out of the conflict, to get out of falling out. You know. Think it through. Don't avoid the difficult conversation, because sometimes it's needed. You know, we all do it. We've all cowered sometimes and gone, I don't want to have that talk. Or you're worried about what the reaction's going to be, because we live in an age now where people are really easily offended. And just be mindful of why they may be and what might push their buttons, etc, etc. And definitely, as I said, use the 3 key points. Think about what you're going to say. Definitely try and understand why they've arrived at their conclusion, see where they've come from, and see it from their point of view. That will help. And finally, listen and respond accordingly to whatever has been said, to come up with the best solution for you both, because somewhere in there is a reasonable and amicable way forward for you both. Everyone's got different wants and needs. You need to understand what those are when making your decision as well. But I've mentioned this today because I need to have an awkward conversation with someone in my workplace, and I'll be having it today, and I need to approach it the way I've just told you. So, and it's not the first time I've had an awkward conversation at work, so it should be interesting. But I think this works with anybody in life, whether it be somebody in your family, a friend, a colleague, or it may be even your partner, wife, girlfriend, man, woman, whatever. Definitely. Guys, first video of the week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. Really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. Thank you kindly. First of 3, put down in the comment section below, are you someone that's okay with having difficult conversations, or like a lot of us, do you find it very difficult to even broach the subject with somebody? I mean, I'm sure you'll agree it really does depend on what it is you're talking about, how emotionally charged it is. But if you need to, can you and will you? That's the question I'm going to leave open there, you know. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below, leave me a thumbs up and a like, and let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know my next content's out. I will be back in a couple of days with my next video. Until then, guys, I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. As always, really appreciate time and energy spent here. I really do. Back in a few days for my next video. Till then, take care of yourselves and bye for now.